road, she said. His heart dropped. All right. You could at least pretend to be excited. I am simply alight with excitement and anticipation. I can hardly contain myself. Really. He flashed a big, fake smile. How was that? Gallo covered a laugh with a cough. His mother let out a deeply annoyed sigh and strode back inside. I'd better go, he said, grabbing his sword and handing it to Gallo. He snatched his coat from the ground, shaking the dirt out. Good luck, Gallo said, then frowned. Is that the appropriate thing to say in this situation? Casss lifted one shoulder. There wasn't much to say to someone who was headed out to meet the woman he'd been ordered to marry. Try not to vomit might have been the best choice. He gave Gallo a tight smile and hopped up the steps, grabbing the handle of the tall wooden door. He threw it open, his eyes adjusting to the dim lighting in the staff dining room. To his left, a boy backed out of the kitchen door, the sound of clanging pans and yells drifting in from behind him. He held a tray of pastries, and he came to an abrupt stop when he spotted the prince. Casss nodded at the boy, striding past him through the far door and into the hallway. Sunlight streamed in from the wide windows to his right, and the walls in this corridor were almost pink in the afternoon light. Later, they would look red. Every corridor was painted a different color, and when he turned a corner, he found 2 staff members arranging bunches of yellow flowers against the bright green walls. The castle buzzed with noise as he walked into the foyer. More flowers lined the banister of the staircase, and a staff member was wrapping blue ribbons around them. The air was full of anticipation and excitement as the castle staff prepared for the arrival of the new princess. Their bright faces just filled Casss with more dread. His mother and father stood in front of the door at the main entrance, and he stopped next to them. You're all dirty, his mother said, taking his jacket from him. She beat at it with her hand, trying to remove lingering dirt. Did you have to spar with that guard before she arrived? The king clapped his son on the arm. He's just nervous. Working off some energy. I am not. Yes, he was. Maybe nervous wasn't the right word. Casss had always known he'd marry someone his parents chose. He'd known, yet he hadn't quite prepared himself for how it would actually feel. Like his stomach was going to drop into his feet and his head would explode from the pounding. What was the word for that? This is as good as it's going to get, his mother said, handing him his coat. He slipped it on. Try and talk to her, the king said. It makes people uncomfortable when you just stand there quietly. I don't always have something to say. Then think of something, his father said, exasperated. The queen walked to the door, gesturing for them to follow. Come on, both of you. She let the king slip past her and put a hand on Cass's arm. Don't worry, Casss. I know she will be quite taken with you. He shook her hand off, but tried to smile like he believed her. Quite taken with you. How ridiculous. It was a treaty marriage, and Mary knew as much about him as he did about her. Nothing. They marched outside into the sunlight, Casss trailing behind his parents. About 10 staff members and several members of Cass's guard were waiting in 2 neat rows. He walked down the castle steps and took his place next to his father as the gate began to open. He clasped his hands behind his back, then pulled on each finger of his left hand until he felt the knuckle crack. His heart was pounding so loudly it vibrated in his ears. He tried to fix his face into a neutral expression. A dirt path ran from the castle to the front gate, flanked on either side by lush green grass and perfectly trimmed square hedges. 2 guards pulled open the iron gate, scurrying out of the way as Lara's